Hey all my future buyers and sellers out there, I am here to teach you more than you knew before about the real estate process. And did you know that the National Association of Realtors came out with a statistic that says on average homeowners sell their house every 10 years. Now whether you think that's shockingly short or extremely long, a decade is undeniably a chunk of time. And if you were about to put one of your biggest financial assets up for sale, wouldn't you go above and beyond to make it the smoothest process as possible, sell it the quickest, and get the most return on it? Well, you'd be surprised that most home sellers out there aren't following half these tips, so let's get you standing out. Hey, it's Ella with Ella Estate Realty, and if you're new here, I give you weekly access to all the tips, hints, and hacks you can handle about real estate. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can be the most knowledgeable renter, buyer, seller, investor, real estate fanatic out there. If you're returning, you know I appreciate you, and I'm gonna thank you in advance for sharing my video with anybody you think could benefit from watching it, or just leave me some love with some likes. As for today's topic, I am going over the 11 value-adding actions that every seller should consider if their house is up for sale. Now, I know selling a house can be an emotional roller coaster. It can have a lot of hassles and inconvenience and even cost you some money up front. But I'm here to remind you that those small inconveniences you put up with through the process can yield you thousands of dollars by the end of the deal. So, let the countdown begin. Let's just start with number 11. Never ever turn down a showing. Well, two words come to mind when I think of this: instant gratification. You know, have you ever been in these shoes where you're looking for something online and you want to see it right then? Granted, the rule of thumb is that whenever you're not available, somebody's gonna want to see your house, your car, whatever you're selling. So you need to come up with a system to put in place so you're always available during reasonable hours. You don't want them getting turned down until you're available 3 days later, and in that 3 days, they go and preview every house that's like yours in the same price range, in the same area, and they pick one of those instead, close the deal before you're even willing to show. Don't be this seller. Have this system in place where you can make it happen. Number 10, turning all the lights on. It is an age-old argument with sellers that it is costly to leave all the lights on in the house. I will say, you know, it is a cost that you'll have to absorb, but it is peanuts compared to what you make off of your brownie points from your first impression. A buyer will make their mind up about your property within 30 seconds of viewing it. So why give them any negative reason about the house? Make it bright and inviting and less creepy by it not being dark. Also, was there ever a time during the holidays where you left every light on your tree and on your house on because you were extra in the spirit, and now all of a sudden you're selling the biggest investment that you own for the most profit possible and you're afraid to turn on too many lights? I'm just here to give you that reality check. Number 9 is cranking that AC. Now, this definitely doesn't apply to everywhere in the country, and it doesn't apply to every season, but on a hot summer day, this will set you apart from your competition. Have you ever been on vacation where it was extremely hot and you were souvenir shopping, and one store didn't have AC and the next store did? Did you happen to linger a little bit longer in the AC? Did you happen to look around and check out the details and enjoy it more? Well, that's exactly the effect that you want to have on future buyers when they're wandering into your house. In addition, the AC is something that not everybody can see. So on a hot day, you have this extra feature and it's highlighted when they walk in and feel the cool air. Cranking the AC can completely be a game changer and, like I said, set you apart from all the other houses on your block. Number 8 is working on the relationship with your neighbors. And whether you walk around and meet with them in person or you just have all their numbers on the fridge, I want you to reach out to every one of them. I want you to tell them that your house is up for sale, because chances are they might know somebody that wants to live in the neighborhood, whether it's family or friends. You're extending that olive branch. Also, when you're telling your neighbors that your house is up for sale, you're alerting them that there's going to be mysterious people walking around, checking it out, viewing it, people that they don't recognize, and that they could possibly be on, better behavior while people are in the area shopping. Number 7 is having your home in show condition at all times. This can be harder, definitely, to accomplish if you're living within your house while it's up for sale compared to if it's vacant and staged. Whether your house is staged or it's just your own furniture, I just want you to be aware of when people are coming to view it, they absorb the smells from your dinner the night before, or that you didn't pick up after yourself, or your bed's not made. It's just going to be that intense living for a little bit while your house is up for sale that will change the way people interpret your house. We want to give them the best impression possible and leave them thinking about all the features that the house has instead of how dirty it was. Number 6 is getting Fido under wraps. Now, whether you have a dog or any lovable creature, they can bring lots of happiness to your life, but through selling your house, it can cause you a lot of headache. Now, number 11, if you remember, was being available at all times for showings. Sellers cancel showings all the time because their pets are home and the buyer can't get inside, or they can't get them out for a walk, or something along those lines that have to do with pets. What about number 6 that we just talked about, staying as clean as possible? Pets can create dander, their potty breaks, and also just the odor that they bring can turn off a lot of buyers. So we want to be aware of this. We just want to make sure that we have it well handled when your house goes up for sale, because you don't want anything deterring people from checking out your property. My advice is to bring them to some of your family's house, maybe for the time that your house is up for sale until it gets to closing, or keep them at a hotel, or just have days scheduled where the pet is handled. Number 5, one of my favorites, is downsizing the theme of your child's room. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, or any parents that have mass creativity and they have themed their kids' rooms to the nines. I applaud it, appreciate it, and love it. But when it comes to selling your house, this can be a little overwhelming for buyers, especially if they don't have any kids, or they're not fans of Star Wars, or have a daughter with princess themes. I want you to be aware that you're trying to appeal to as many people as possible, and having a child's room in your house is completely fine, and it being staged for that purpose. But going above and beyond and having too much theme, like an explosion of theme in the room, can definitely be, I don't know, a loss of money. So just make sure that maybe you take down some of the dolls or the figurines or whatever to just simplify the area, and you'll be probably better off. Number 4 is keeping your expensive things safe. Now, I don't want to alarm you and make you think that every showing is going to be strangers walking through your house looking for something to steal. But I do want you to be aware that there are strangers walking through your house. And if you accidentally or purposely or cluelessly leave out really expensive jewelry or different things of value, that it can cause sticky fingers. And I don't want this process of putting your house up for sale to be a negative one. So just be aware that you either need to take it out of the house, you need to put it into a safe, or put it in a safe place before the showings go down, just to prevent anything. Again, this is a preventative measure, not to scare you about putting your house up for sale. Number 3 is, let's not get you sued. There are sue-happy people out there, but I'm talking about just avoiding tripping hazards, uneven floors, loose boards, getting rid of those rugs that maybe somebody that's walking through that's unfamiliar with the area might accidentally trip over, get injured, and then sue you. I mean, if you guys have ever been sued in a real estate position, or actually in general, I want to know about it. Let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, I want you to take care of all these things before it's show ready, because you will have people walking through your house, and I just don't want you to be in that position of getting sued. So just be aware that this is a possibility, and take the proper precautions. Number 2 is make yourself scarce. Get out of there. I don't care if you're out of town, or you are running to the grocery store, going out to eat, or at your neighbor's house, but you should not be present at the showing of your houses. It should be between the agent and the buyers touring the place. There are so many reasons why you shouldn't be there, but I'll just touch on a few. Let's see. Well, the buyer agent starts asking you particular real estate questions and you don't really know how to answer them, and you might walk yourself straight into a trap. Or even the buyers start asking you innocent questions and you might say something that you shouldn't have that will help them in negotiations. What about, some buyers or some sellers out there might not mesh with the future buyers, even though this has nothing to do with the process. This could come across within the showing, and we don't want that to happen, whether the seller doesn't make smooth conversation, or they're hovering over the top of you, or trying to tell you stories about everything that's happened in the house. This just shouldn't really be the interaction of showing a house. The buyer should leave remembering the house and its features, not the way you made them feel while you were there, while they were touring the house, and kind of made them feel like an outsider because you're somebody else is coming in on your territory. Let's just avoid all of that by not having you present at any of the showings. Number one kind of is related to me, so probably why I picked it as my favorite, but it is treat this transaction like a business. Now, you hired a trusted real estate agent, I hope, to handle all your wants and needs, questions, and facilitate this entire process. Now, with them by your side, trust in them, trust in their experience, trust in their advice, and just know that you're not really supposed to interact with the buyer until you're handing them the keys. So just keep that in mind, that it is a large transaction and it is a business transaction, and you will have a smooth process ahead of you. We're 11 topics down and I hope your knowledge is up. Now, even if every single tip doesn't really apply to your particular situation, I'm sure some on this list do. So let me know in the comments down below which ones you'll be using when your house goes up for sale next. If you have any other questions, you can always reach me at my website, EllaEstateRealty.com. And if none of that works, just leave me some love with some likes. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm Ella with Ella Estate Realty, and I hope you're having a spectacular day.